afternoon, good evening. Well,
What?
wherever you are from, whoever you are.
What do you mean?
Would you call it a good news day, or is the Levy PR machine at work?
My club is losing the plot, man. I can't lie. My club has lost the plot. If they do this, they're fucking stupid, in my opinion. Absolutely stupid. What? What do you mean? What do you mean?
I swear he's the most clippable person in YouTube. Welcome back to We Are the South Stand. Make sure you smash the like button. I am joined by a debutant today. You all know his face already. You've seen him over on LB's. Probably. Do you reckon that's LB's most heated show? That probably is, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd say so. The panel show for sure.
Yeah, it is. Who's on it? Who is it? It's you, LB.
Yeah, Pulp is usually there, Steve, and then you got the American boys, Danny, Tarek, Bevo pops in. Oh, Joe Butters as well.
I was going to say, right, Joe is on there, isn't he?
Yeah, Joe is on there.
That's the one. That's the one. It's Joe. Pulp. I don't know. Yeah,
Pulp's usually pretty calm on there. To be fair, he's usually the man of reason. Bit of glazing from him every now and again, but he's usually right.
A bit of glazing. Listen.
Yeah, well, he's as close to a happy clapper as you can get, Paul Fair, without actually being called on. So,
yeah, do you know what? He don't get called a happy clapper.
He doesn't. He somehow escapes the accusations.
Yeah.
I don't know why. What's the case?
He is a bit of a happy clapper, you know. He's. I don't know. Yeah, I'd be one of them people that never seems to get arrested for anything. So you're a bit like, hold on, what's going on here? Why is this guy not getting accusations? Because he is. Anyway, listen, there's a lot to talk about. We are going to be joined by Patrick as well. Right, where do we start? It's been, bro, I saw someone say the other day, I don't know who it was, someone said on Twitter, it seems like Viana's come back from holiday, not realising that the transfer window isn't closed yet. It's like, oh, shit, so I can buy more players. And it's just decided. But I don't like. Right, let's start with the Donnarumma one.
Mm-hmm.
Firstly, how do you feel about it?
See, I've been getting roasted the last few days because I'm not as hot on it as everyone else. Obviously, everyone's attracted to the big name.
Yeah.
And the majority of people have seen these performances that we saw last year in the Champions League. Obviously, he's kept them in some massive games there in the knockout run in the Champions League, hasn't he? But it's the style for me. I can't help but be skeptical about the complete change of style that we're going to have to adapt to next year if we do bring Donnarumma as a keeper. Because there's no way if he comes into the club that he's going to be sat on the bench. Like, people talk about Trafford having to fight for his spot, but if we're going to bring Donnarumma in, there's no way that Trafford.
No.
In my opinion,
Bro,
he's going to end up being the cup keeper.
It's the wages. The difference in wages is too much for it to be like, you're not going to go and spend 200 grand, and it might have to be more. I don't know where the wage thing is, because I know he wanted to. He was on. Am I right? He was on 200 at PSG, but he wanted more.
Yeah.
So he called their bluff. They called his bluff. So now he's going. But I guess that means now, does he want more than 250, or does he actually have to accept that he's going to end up with 200?
Yeah, I think he's probably going to have to accept that it's going to be less, because we can't be putting him on 250. It just can't happen. Not for a goalkeeper, and not for one that and not for a goalkeeper that might not necessarily work for us. I mean, there's no guarantee that it will work for us. I'm already terrified next year of some of the top 6 teams, even your likes of your Bournemouth, your Brightons, who press high as a team. Yeah. I'm terrified of Donnarumma with the ball at his feet.
Yeah,
like what he brings in shot stopping is obviously a lot higher than Ederson, but what he's going to lack in his passing, especially his passing under pressure. The drop off between Ederson to Donnarumma is a lot higher with the ball at his feet than it is between Donnarumma and Ederson, shot stopping wise, in my opinion. So
I agree with you. That's my concern. This is what baffles me. Even when I see the statements like Pep is a big admirer, look. Let's go back to first season. Joe Hart.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, I don't get why. Like, has Pep style has not changed to go from that to that and if, right. Appreciate the super chat straight away from Amar. Pep said he's top 3 keepers in the world. Right. He might be the top 3 keepers, but that doesn't mean he suits Pep's style of play.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
But I'm with you. The press on us, is going to be, and that's where you worry about. The only thing is, I guess what you would say is, but if he's that bad at his feet, why have PSG not been that bad defensively?
Exactly. And obviously he's done well last year, and it's obviously not been exposed because of how well PSG did, and the rest of the team was obviously out of this world last year, wasn't there? But there's got to be a reason that Enrique's been in him as well. Like, he's come out and said that he wants to go in a different direction with the goalkeeper that he's bringing in, so that he can have one that's comfortable with the ball at his feet. Yeah. So if he wasn't such like a calamity, then why are they throwing him in the bin then? Do you know what I mean? We're taking all the dregs from these clubs who, on paper, are potentially world-class talents because they've got the big name, they've played for the big clubs, but at the end of the day, they're not wanted by the managers where they currently are. So, I mean, I'm terrified of the change of style. I mean, we moved away from that when we got rid of Joe Hart years ago. I mean, it looks like we was sticking with that direction of having a keeper that's comfortable with the ball at his feet by bringing James Trafford in as well, who's come up through our academy. Yep. He's used to our style of play. And this is why I've said today that I feel like the club's flip-flopping with what they want, and they've kind of gone back on the style of play that we seem to be moving towards by going in for Donnarumma now at this late stage. So it is mind-boggling to me.
Shout out to Patrick. Do you know what? Good.
Patrick, mate.
Patrick J. Patrick.
Nice to meet you, pal.
Nice to meet you.
So I there was a bit of me that thought, as something happened in training, because we've had 2 weeks of training, right? Have things been seen in training that maybe Pep and the coaches aren't too keen on? And I'm not meaning with Trafford, by the way, because I don't think they've seen enough. I don't know what has happened with Trafford, but like when we move on to the Savio bit, it does seem confusing. Does go on, Patrick? Where are you with it? Jay, just quickly, just to confirm this, Jay. So you went here for it. You don't really want Donnarumma.
Not particularly. No, I just think it's too late in the day now, 3 days before the end of the season, for us to completely change our whole style of play, our build up. So I'm against it personally. I'd rather Ederson stay and us move towards Trafford next year.
Go on, Patrick. Over to you.
Yeah, for me, right? I was looking at all this. There doesn't, like these Spanish managers. That's including Pep Guardiola and Enrique. They are very cold, I bet you from the beginning, when I think Enrique and him haven't fallen out, there hasn't been any issues. I think from the beginning, he knew that he didn't want Donnarumma. He knew, but he sort of, one of those things where if you go to a team, you use somebody knowing that if I succeed, I'll have the power now to start speaking. Because now he's a treble winning manager. He's got the power now to start pinching people off. Because it's rumors that Donnarumma, there's a few people he's trying to get off the door. For me, I remember when City were linked with Donnarumma and Pep was here. Remember? They were being linked with him when he was younger.
Yeah, a few times,
for me, I have this other feeling inside that the club are looking at it saying, you know what? Pep Guardiola is leaving very soon. But also Pep is looking at it, maybe I want another Champions League. Do I really want Trafford in goal? Because I saw Trafford in the other game. I saw it a replay. I was like, the youngster is still a bit nervous, but he will get into it. I'll give him a chance. But I think they're looking at Donnarumma, 26 years old. Maybe he's not that bad. Because even Enrique, if we talk about he's not good with his feet, they were still playing out from the back. They were being pressed, and Donnarumma was, with his minimal and bad footwork, as they call it, was still able to take PSG from the back to the front and without panic. He was doing the basic. So, I don't know. I am happy with Donnarumma. If it actually happens, there's a voice behind me that keeps saying this will be the Sanchez deal. Something. I just feel like United will come in and soup with
that's what I was thinking.
Bro, yeah, I'm just feeling like
won't surprise me. Yeah, but the thing is, bringing him, I'm happy. And it looks like Donnarumma is shocked, and even his camp is shocked. And I think some people at PSG have made comments that they're shocked that Enrique did list Donnarumma as the guy to leave. PSG fans are saying they're in absolute shock, same way as we did with Joe Hart. But I welcome him, man. I think this is the thing. Some people are feeling sorry for Trafford. I'm asking them this. Why are you not feeling sorry for Ederson? Because when Trafford came in, majority of the people became cold and ruthless and said Ederson has to get the F out. Do you get it?
Right, hold on. So, you know that I stuck up, like, in, you know, Alan was anti-Ederson, like, because if he's not signing the contract, and I did, you know, but at the same time, even though I'll stick up for Ederson, if you don't sign a contract, and I guess this is the same for Donnarumma at PSG. If you don't sign a contract with the club, you're letting a club know, right? I am going next summer on a free, and you're getting no money from me.
Did you hear his offer though? This is a treble-winning keeper. Like at the end of the day, I see why he's hard done by. He's your treble-winning keeper, and apparently, like they knew this. I don't know if you guys were watching. Somebody told me way before, he's a PSG fan, saying, "Oh, Chevalier is never going to City. This guy is destined to come to PSG." They knew this guy was coming. This is a setup. We call this a setup. First of all, they were offering him like shitty wages, and the guy has done so much. He even said in his statement, "I've given you so much." I don't know. I welcome with open arms. I think if Trafford is man enough to say, "I back myself," fight against Donnarumma then. Fight against one of the most good keepers right now. And yes, people are saying he's just a shot stopper, but I would rather him come in here and then Trafford benches Donnarumma.
Sorry, can I just say though, this comment below, that could be the cleverest tactic from City, right?
If we've nicked him to try and wedge him into that deal.
You knew how much Newcastle wanted Trafford, right? So we went and got Trafford for 13 million, right? And then go, right, how much do you want him? Because we want Livramento. So if you want Trafford, you can have him, but you've got to sell us Livramento.
Yeah,
I know that's not going to happen, but I'm with Jay in that it confuses the shit out of me, right? The fact that Trafford was given the number 1 shirt as well, because it's almost, bro.
I don't think you can compare Trafford and Ederson. No way. One of them's at the end of his cycle at the club. It's looking like it's coming to an end. His performances have dropped off as well. Obviously, the last couple of months. Trafford literally joined the club like 3 weeks ago, so we can't compare the two.
But I just think as well that there's being ruthless, right? And being ruthless would be getting him away from Newcastle, where he's going to be their number 1, right? Because people say, "Oh, battle it out with Pope." There's no battle there, right? He would be their number 1, right? So City've gonna go, nah, don't go there. Come to us, right? Come back to us. We've already let you go once, but come back to us, Get him back to the club, and then give him the number 1 shirt, and then go, "Yeah, but we're going to bring in Donnarumma," right? That is beyond ruthless, bro. That's literally playing with a man's feelings. That is harsh.
I don't know.
However, and also the Joe Hart thing, the fact Pep got rid of him, and the fact that I don't think Donnarumma is that good under the press, and we will get pressed. People were pressing us more and more. But I can't lie, the guy's mentality and the fact that he's a winner makes me think, do you know what? Maybe we've been all saying we need Pep to be more ruthless. Well, this is a fucking ruthless Pep if this is what he's doing.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm happy. And you know what? This is what Martin is saying. He says, Patrick, you said, no, not that. I don't care. That agenda thing was me throwing. So, Martin, if you take that seriously, then I don't know. Says Trafford has been here 2 weeks and had the rag pulled. Massive difference, Patrick. I don't give a shit. Let me speak to you guys. I don't care. I want trophies, right? I want trophies. And we as a fan base have been saying, "Oh, the club is too soft." I'm telling you guys, this is about winning trophies. It's not about Trafford. I love you. I love the academy. Daps knows this. I love the academy. But I don't care if Cole Palmer came back yesterday and then we end up, Cole Palmer is here as a number 10. Then they end up signing Cherky after Cole Palmer 2 weeks and say, "Cherky, here's the number 10 jersey, not you, Cole Palmer." I don't care. There has to be competition. Because last season, we were complaining about comfortability. I'm telling you this. I used to play football. And right now, when I sit down...
not having it.
No, seriously. I used to play football when I was in primary school.
That.
No, I'm serious. Let me explain to you. I used to play football, and I remember some of the things that were happening behind the scenes. When I sit down now as an adult, I was like, that guy, that manager was not fair. Because there was a guy who was a striker, right? And the guy was new and in good form. He was a bit cocky. Do you know what my manager said? Just because I wasn't the ass kisser, but I used to listen to him. But the other guy was like a bit of a maverick. He told me on one game that, Patrick, this guy is in more form than you. He's scoring the goals. He's better. He was telling me this guy is better than you, which I knew. The guy was good and fast. But he said, I'm going to play you because this guy, I want to bring him down a notch. Or I'm going to play you because I favor you. And I've been with you for so long. And that time I was like, yeah, you know what I mean? I'm in the team. But if I think about it, I was like, that was weakness to the team. He was not putting winning first. We have to put winning first. I'm sorry. Trafford, I'm happy he's come back and I hope he succeeds. But you guys, if you guys were telling me on my stream that Trafford is good enough to become world class, Trafford is good enough to dislodge Ederson to become top class. Do you know what then? Let him prove it. But some of you guys are babying him right now in the comments.
He's not going to be able to prove it, though, is he? Because he's not going to play. If Donnarumma comes into the club, then there's no way that he's going to have the chance.
Can I ask you a question, though? Can I ask you a question? Because this is also the question I asked. Look, let me be honest. Let me keep it 100. I also sat there with the whole Rodrygo and Donnarumma things and said, what the hell is going on? But if they are so confident in Trafford, right? What have they told Trafford? Because Trafford is not making any noise right now, but they have brought in Donnarumma. But why are they after him? Because I'm shocked, by the way. Let me not say that I'm not shocked. I am shocked that they're bringing him. But what story are you going to sell Trafford? That means they've already told him. And you know what, Martin? I'm going to use your word. You said Alvarez knew Haaland is here. So why was Alvarez mourning later on? So Trafford knows that Donnarumma is coming.
But he did it when he signed, though, Patrick, did it?
Yeah,
I'm saying now. I'm saying now. But
afterwards. I think if he knew that Donnarumma was going to come in 3 weeks later when he was making his decision about which club to go to, I think his decision would have been a lot different. And I think it would have been...
Yeah, that's the bit...
would have gone the other way.
And that's the bit where, look, I get the ruthless side of it. I really do, yeah. But there's being ruthless and there's almost being... Look, and again, I get it. We're City. We're not Trafford FC or nothing like that. But fucking hell, bro, to put the number 1 on the guy's shirt as well is just... Bro...
And I'm not even trying
I can't even think of an analogy for it. That's like literally offering, if someone offered me something, put it in front of my face, and then literally, as I'm about to take a bite of it, go, not really. And the thing is, I do what Jay's saying. He's going to be on like probably 3 times as much money.
He's not.
Right?
Yeah, they're not going to drop him. No way.
It's going to be like there's competition and there's being realistic, yeah? I don't know if it's realistic that you're going to bring in Donnarumma on... Because, right, you bring in Donnarumma on a 4-year deal. Let's say they only give him 4 years, right? But it will probably be 5.
Yeah,
but let's say
they'll probably give him 5 because they'll make sure that they pin him down.
So let's say they give him a 5-year deal on 200, let's say 200 grand at least, yeah? And then... they do the competition thing, and James Trafford ends up winning the competition, right? And Donnarumma is then a bench player, right? We have a bench player for 4 years on 200 grand a week. It won't happen, bro. Like, he won't get the chance. Like, being truthful. And even if you look at it from the club's point of view, maybe it's a case of, do you know what? We've got an opportunity here. And this is a word that Pep's used when talking about James Trafford, right? He said, in fact, I'm sorry, he's going to change the layout a little bit.
Do me a favor, Dabs, right?
Hold on, one sec. Let me just say this. In a interview, Pep said, I believe it was after the game, he said, the opportunity to sign James Trafford came up, and we know he's going to be the England keeper for the next 10 years. The opportunity was too good to be true. Now, if you
this is the same situation, I think. No.
If you deep the word opportunity, right, and now another opportunity has come up. An opportunity has come up to get Donnarumma, one of the best goalkeepers in the world, right? So 2 opportunities. One of them is going to cost you a lot more, right? But you're getting a better quality of player. The other one
A better shot stopper, just to clarify.
Yeah, a better shot stopper.
I'm not convinced he's a better player for Man City.
No, he's
not.
But he's a better shot stopper.
But then with the opportunity you got with James Trafford, yeah, you've got James Trafford, who you got for 13 million, right? Has English tax on him when you know people need English players, because it's not just us that are struggling at the moment with this English quota.
It's a lot of teams,
Bro, it's a flip. And I hate to say it, but is James Trafford just a Chelsea flip?
It's a flip.
I don't. Can I ask you a favor?
Because
Can you bring
right
that comment up? Bring that comment up.
So one last thing. Right now, James Trafford, is not England's #1 goalkeeper, right?
He's not.
But we've just signed probably England's #1 goalkeeper in the next 2 to 3 years for 13 million, right?
Yep.
In 2 to 3 years, he'll be worth 40 million, right? There we go. And I hate to say it. Was it this one?
No. The way he says Pat. So when Rodrygo goes,
how far back was it?
Yeah, it's like So let me give you an answer which I gave on my channel yesterday. Martin, I'm gonna give you this answer, and I think this is the last time I'm gonna answer you this. So you're trying to bring this, Martin. I don't care if Rodrygo comes to this team, and we have to sell Doku. Goodbye, Doku. I'll pack your bags for you. I don't care. I'm not here to glaze players. I want competition.
I don't like this though, Patrick, because you're glazing players who are currently not even at the club.
But no.
You're already willing to get rid of the guy.
Yeah, but listen to me. He's trying. He's saying that because I defend Doku a lot. If it comes to football and the football club and the fact that we have to win trophies and we are looking for a better player, if Rodrygo comes in and Doku says, "Oh, I don't think I can fight with Rodrygo," I would rather respect Doku to sit here and he gets interviewed and he says, "You know what? Bring on Rodrygo, bring him to play LW, and we see who's better." That's the mentality the players are supposed to have. That's the Man City that was winning trophies, because we used to have players look at each other. Remember what Bernardo Silva used to say? He's like, "Oh, I know we have so and so here, but I'm willing to back myself." These players have to be willing to back themselves. So even though I always glaze Doku and praise Doku and support him, if he comes in, he has to tell me, he has to look at Rodrygo and say, "Okay, you've won Champions Leagues and you are good, but I think I can back myself." That's what the players should be. I don't care if
Do you know what? I hear what he's saying. That is right. That is the Pep and the City mentality. A prime example is when, remember when Ferran Torres left us?
Yes.
And there was no fight to try and keep him, because Pep was like, "If you don't think you're good enough to be here, leave." Yeah, like if you really think that's a better process. But I don't know. It don't sit right. I'll be real with you. It doesn't sit right with me. Like, and I also, if I watched Trafford the other night against Palermo, right, and what I was impressed with, we all know that he had that little, I think in the opening 5 minutes he got closed down.
At the beginning.
However, let's be fair to the kid. It was his first game for City, playing with a back four that he's never played with before.
And the pressure.
And they pressed him. But what I loved afterwards is he did not change his game one bit, right? He's that confident with the ball at his feet that he is fine to be pressed, right? And that is so important to our goalkeeper. I've said it a million times. We can always look at games when Ederson has not played and other keepers have been in goal, and the whole system drops deeper. The whole system becomes narrower. No one holds their position because they're all worried that the goalkeeper is going to be pressed the fuck out of and lose the ball, right? With Ederson, we never had that. And already against Palermo, I saw players holding their position. They weren't worried that Trafford was going to lose the ball when he had the ball at his feet. Whereas I think with Donnarumma, like Jay said, we're going to have to change the way we play a bit. Someone said for PSG that apparently Vitinha sometimes drops really deep when they're
and carries the ball, and picks up the ball. Yeah.
That's fine, but I think what Jay said earlier is right. That means we're going to have to change the way we play. A week before this, 5 days before the season starts.
I have a question for you. Do you know why I'm loving all this? I'm loving all this because I've been attacked all season saying, "Oh, Patrick, do you know more than Pep?" So let me ask you guys who are attacking me. I've seen in the comments. Do you know more than Pep now? Because Pep wants Donnarumma. So do you know more than Pep? Because at the end of the day, if Pep Guardiola is willing to bring Donnarumma, because at the end of the day, it has to go through Pep. I've told people that whether you like it or not, the Vienna and all those guys don't really have the power to sit down and say, we're bringing this person. They still have to go to Pep, and Pep has to say, I can work with that. So if Pep is saying I can work with Rodrygo, I can work with Donnarumma, let's just wait and see what's going to happen. And you're right, maybe there's a shift. But I have this other feeling deep inside that Pep is sitting there and say, wow, maybe I have to win another Champions League, and this Donnarumma guy can win me a champion, can do good in these cup games. And then later on, when I F off, it's going to be somebody else's issue, a manager who maybe doesn't really want a keeper who can play with his feet. Because let's not also forget, we are all godsmacked. I was at work and somebody texted me and tried to call me, and I see Savinho is going to Spurs. I sat there and say, what the hell is going on? So what the hell is going on with Pep right now? He seems like he's
that's a valid question. He's not.
I think that's the issue though, because it's not just the keeper that's going to be affected by coming into a new club and having to play this new brand of football like Donnarumma's going to have to. It's the complete rest of the team as well. The other 10 players on the pitch now are going to have to get to different types of rhythm when building up from the back. They're going to have to pick up different positions in order to pick the ball up from Donnarumma if we're not going to trust him under the press. So it affects the whole way we play. And if this keeper comes in now 3 days before the start of the season, I don't think we're going to be ready for that yet. If we're going to be playing with this new
but I don't think we're going to lose
limitations.
But do you think I don't think we're going to lose games because he is good at
No, I'm not saying that for sure.
But I get where you're coming from. I get where you're coming from, yeah.
And, but I don't know. In my opinion, Patrick, I think at the moment, Trafford is probably the best moving forward because at the moment, half of the fan base are wanting a ball-playing keeper like Ederson. Half of the fan base are wanting a shot stopper and probably have been for 12 months last year due to the goals that Ederson let in at times.
Yeah, they were bad.
So in the middle here, I think Trafford is not as good with his feet as Ederson, but he's definitely better than Donnarumma. I don't think Trafford's as good a shot stopper as Donnarumma, but he's definitely better with the feet. And I think he's the perfect mix of players to keep us going forward. I think he's a lot better of a shot stopper than Ederson, and he's a lot better with his feet than Donnarumma. So in my opinion, I think he's the perfect mix.
And then the one thing I would say with Donnarumma is Donnarumma, he's been there, he's handled pressure. And because of that, that is mentality is something that I will always say, the mentality of a player. But I do see that I personally see it in Trafford. Yeah, I do. Trafford hasn't. He hasn't had the. In fact, you know what? You could say the one chance Trafford has had the chance to actually show the world stage was at the under-21s in the final, and he saved the penalty in the 90th minute. Right. So if we're talking about handling pressure, the kid has handled pressure, but it's an unknown quantity, and that's where I am with it. I think if I'm just being honest, not going, do you know what? You're right. I need to be ruthless. Just where I sit with Trafford. I'm going to be honest with you. I sit with Trafford. It's not one that, but I do see why people might want Donnarumma. But for me, I want Trafford to stay.
And Donnarumma isn't giving the ball to the likes of Vitinha and Hakimi and the left back as well, Nuno Mendes. He's giving the ball to Mateus Nunes, Ruben Diaz.
But John Stones is there.
The ball players that we have.
Yeah. So you also have top quality ball receivers. Look, at the end of the day, we can all just debate and go both sides. Both sides are right, because you're right about that both fan bases are divided. Because let's not forget, Donnarumma is the best keeper right now. And I'm like, do you know what? I am still gobsmacked that why have we just gone a 90? You know what I mean? The fact that, yes, Trafford is here and we've got a 90. I am very interested when he signs, or if he signs for us. I want to hear the conversation and what he says in his interviews. Because I'm like, are we just looking at opportunity, as Dap says, that, oh my God, this keeper has just won a treble and he's available? Fuck it, we'll get him in.
Do you know what? I can't lie. Do you know what the perfect for me is? Because we've had it come out today that he don't want to join Man United. He only wants to join City.
Yeah, he doesn't. Apparently, he doesn't want to play. Apparently, he doesn't want to play.
Don't want to go to Man United. Only wants City. Now, I beg City just pull out in it. We've got that statement. We needed the statement. Cheers. So just to confirm, you'd rather move to City than United. Thank you. We don't want you. Cheers. And just keep it moving. Right. We'll stay with Trafford. Martin is saying, I'm fine with ruthless, by the way, but this player FC has to stop now.
I hate that agenda. I hate where that phrase has come from in the last couple of weeks is beyond me, man. How can you disrespect someone for supporting the players of this club? The players are the ones that make us fall in love with the game in the first place and fall in love with the club. The players are the ones who perform on the pitch and win countless trophies and trebles. They're the ones who you get on the name on the back of your shirt. So what is the issue now with people?
Every fan has got every fan base. Every fan has got somebody they put behind the jersey, don't they? Like at the end of the day, everybody loves KDB. Everybody loves somebody for reasons. Like this is the thing is,
I love Bernardo.
I think this is the reason. Bernardo is my captain, and I just
wouldn't be a City though without the players, would they? Like,
yeah, I just
so to shit on the players and say like we don't care about them, it's all about the club. They're the reason we're in this position in the first place, where we're competing for trophies and we can have conversations like this. So for people just throw them away is fucking crazy, man.
Yeah, but do you know what's funny? Like this is what I'm telling people, that at least even though sometimes I might be on like Doku is one of my guys, but the thing is, there's a difference. Some people are so obsessed. They even if the player is being sold by the club for a reason. Like there's a guy who I'm not going to mention him. I had a private conversation, Jacob, and people think I'm a Jack Grealish hater, but I'm not actually, because I just say football logic. So I had a private conversation saying Jack is going to Everton. So I told him straightforward. I was like, you know what? Now Jack is at Everton. Can I sit down and say, did we really succeed with Jack? And personally, I said my personal opinion, and I respected his opinion. My personal opinion is that 100 million, we threw it down the toilet. I know that he was good during the treble. And this guy said, by the way, he got a Gucci deal and he got commercial. I said, that has nothing to do with us. I'm talking about football-wise. I was like, first of all, it also goes with Pep. He played in that position, and I wanted him as a number 10. Me and Dabs cried for Jack as a number 10. It never happened because Silva was supposed to leave. But you get my point. I'm like, this is when I tell people that I know you love a player, but don't just back the player for a reason. Like yourself, you can say, oh, I love KDB. We can give reasons for KDB. And guess what? Every time I talk about KDB, people give me footballing reasons. But some players, I get it when people say play AFC. I think it's when somebody gives you reasons that are not football. Oh my God, he's good. He's good looking.
That wasn't at Martin, by the way. I've seen him commenting there. It wasn't at Martin. That was.
It was in general.
Talk of the devil.
It was in general. I get it.
That wasn't at you, Martin. I've had people.
No, it was.
Like the last 2 days.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. God, this subject's got everyone a bit spicy, hasn't it?
Hey, Martin, everyone going a bit. Martin, it's even got you going a bit, because you yesterday, like, you didn't know. You were like, I don't know what's going on here. I don't.
My God, have we taken a left turn over the last 10 days?
Yeah, that's the problem.
Have you ever heard of the opportunity strikes? My God, it was weird because last week, the trouble is you don't know to believe, because all the local journals were like, we're done, we're finished, we're basically not buying anyone. And then,
but Martin, did you see your man though? I know that people don't rate him, but I rate him highly because somehow he seems to be the one right all the time. Purple Partner, who also told us that Rice is not coming to City, he's coming to Arsenal, and I put it on my name. Do you know what he said? He said it a month ago, say Vienna is not done, there's surprises coming. And he retweeted yesterday that Vienna is not done when the Rock. So maybe the club wants something, Martin. Okay, can I ask you, Martin? Why do you think the club is spinning and just going for these world-class players?
Hold on. Sorry. Do you know what? Let's just, Martin, think to some of the stuff that you've been saying, right? And actually get to where we are. Like, we got the 3 players in, then we had the Club World Cup. But just before, once we got the 3 players in, remember what was said? Before other people come in, players need to be got off the books, right?
Yes.
Now, I think the key is, Jack Grealish, 300 grand a week is a fucking big stuff. That's 300 grand a week. Sorry, I think probably about 220, I think they're doing, right? That is a big chunk, The fact that they now know Savio is likely, that means 2 wingers gone, right? 2 wingers gone. And I know Savio's
James McAtee is also going.
McAtee is very close. So they said...
Yeah, McAtee's virtually, that's all done.
But they've said this, they said, we need to get rid of some people before we can bring anyone else in.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing now.
The thing is, the Rodrygo thing, that's 3 months, 4 months old. Well, actually, it's 2 years old.
Yeah, it is. Real talk.
But Cheeky would never actually. Cheeky wasn't the chief executive who'd pull the trigger on that type of a deal. shall we say. It was a bit like the opportunity arose. Pep had a meeting with his dad a few months back, and the opportunity arose. But I did, and I said this to Pep privately as well, it had to be Savio or Doku. One of those two had to go for Rodrygo to come in. It had to take not a Grealish, a main winger to go out the door. The bid came for Savinho. That was the weird situation.
Do you know what? That's the one that's killed me. That's I rattled me. Right? Is with
it started the spark. It started the fun spark.
Do you know what it is? It's the right. So you have your decision whether you like Savio or Doku, right? I mean, by the way, and it's got worse than even this, but we get a bid from Tottenham for Savio, and then straight away we should be selling Doku.
I can't get bit.
Bro, what like? And the thing that drives me.
This is what LB was saying. I was going mad at him, man.
Bro, it's no, but the whole thing, like, see, LB, you're better. I love LB. LB loves using this one on Twitter. He loves saying on Twitter, "You're better than this," yeah. But LB, you're cleverer than to know that if we get a bid for Doku, we can't, like, that's not relatable. We can't go nah. Like, sorry, we've got a bid for Savio. We can't
could have easily been the other way around.
No, think of it. No, you think of it logically as well. Two separate issues. Savinho was only 20 million quid, so someone bidding 45th there. Doku was nearly. Doku's nearly 60. So to get any kind of profit, someone has to go to 80 to get the Doku going.
And
so that's the problem.
But then that's one thing. But what makes it even madder is because, to be fair, someone in the comments just said, yeah, but what you could do is you could say, look, yeah, because I actually genuinely think Tottenham came in for Grealish, yeah, basically had a chat, realised that City would want X amount of the wages paid. And again, the way City are moving with Tottenham seems very ruthless, like the whole with the 50 million negotiations done, come back with something bigger or fuck off, right? They're not going to try and make friends with Daniel Levy. It's straight business. So I would imagine they've come in for Grealish and they've gone, now Grealish is on 300 grand a week, right? And you're going to have to pay at least 2/3 of that.
And he's 29 years old. And he's 29.
Yeah, and he's that age.
No.
And then, okay, what other wingers are there? Right, so Doku, let's actually say, let's act like these negotiations happen.
You have to pay like 80 million.
Okay, Doku, 80 million. No, we're not going to do that. And also Doku's wage, I would imagine he's on probably quite a bit more than Savio as well. Yeah. So again,
no, they're on 50. I think they're both on 50. I think so. Last time I checked.
Now Savio's on 40.
Savio's on 40, 35.
Yeah. So, then it's got down to Savio, who's on 40 grand a week, yeah, and that's where Tottenham are like, bingo. That is how Levy does. I'm convinced Levy went to Nottingham Forest 2 summers ago to get Morgan Gibbs-White and came back with Brennan Johnson, right? I honestly think he just got confused and went for the cheaper one, right? I think that's how Daniel Levy does business, right? But Patrick. Sorry, the maddest bit. So at least with that whole thing is it could happen because you're negotiating about wingers, but it's the people that are coming out going, "Oh, we're selling Savio when we still got Gundogan." Like, what are we going to do? Someone comes into Savio and we turn around and go, "We can't sell you a winger, but we've got this 35-year-old here if you want, who's on 200 grand a week."
And that was my point. That was my point. I know you weren't talking about. That was my point with Super Chat, Jacob. That's what people do. Yeah, so you go, you're selling in. Why are you not selling a centre back? Yeah. And the reason is, by the way,
think what Gundogan's wages, yeah, everything about the difference between Savio and Gundogan is just like, that's like me going into a training shop and being offered some fucking raw meat. I'd be like, what?
You know what?
It's like going into a strip club and then wheeling a granny out of the back when all the
you know what? Do you know what's funny, Dubs? Do you know what's funny, Dubs?
She's great on the pole.
Do you know what's funny, Dubs? The thing is, I know sometimes I rattle people and I troll people. Martin knows when I'm trolling people and hurting people, it's been purposely just to piss them off. But I told people in a logical way. Now, listen. I told people in a logical way, and I was saying,
don't believe what he puts on X. He just uses it as a complete
Jacob, I told people in a very logical way. There were people in my panel saying, "Oh, you love Doku so much, but he will be gone." I said, "Let me give you a warning. If I was a businessman and I sat there and I started looking at this in a very business way, I was like, Doku won't be the first one to step out because, first of all, he starts for his country. if somebody comes for him, as you guys say, he's going to be expensive. He's the first starter for his country. I was like, I even warned them. I was like, I know you love the Brazilian guy, Savinho, Savio. We've joked about this. When you're Brazilian, you're loved. I was like, but if I was looking at the guys in the team, first of all, Bob has got higher potential than Doku and Savio, and there's no way you're touching Bob. There is no way you're touching Bob.
No,
so it's homegrown.
No chance.
Then I was like, there's one guy who's at risk here. And I remember I mentioned Savio, and everybody went on the panel like, look at it in a business way. Stop being emotional or technique.
Well, I think the business thing. I think right. And Jacob, I don't know.
And you know that. Let me just finish on this. You know that City. Do you know people don't know that every club has got a list on where when a guy comes to negotiate,
what sweet spots on players?
No, yes, they have a list where when you come to them and say,
you know?
"What about this guy?" They'll be like, "No." What about this guy? Okay, let's speak. You know what I mean? Like Martin just said, we bought the guy for 30-20 million. We bought him away, like we bought him for such little money. Somebody comes in with 50, potential 70. You think they're saying no? No, they're not.
No, the thing is, right, right. So the main thing is, someone said Saturday night, Savio looks at someone he'll probably be watching this back on replay or whatever. Smash the lights, people. And he said Savio looked unhappy on Saturday. Now, I didn't see it, but if you look at the timeline, there probably is a good chance.
Lewis said that, I think I heard him say
a few people said that, right? So I reckon he must have been told maybe Saturday night, potentially, there's an interest in you, and if the offer's right, how do you feel about it? But for me, what does everyone think of Savio's press and work rate?
Savinho knew 3 weeks ago about this.
Oh, right. Okay. Cool. What does everyone think?
It's good. I think his work rate's decent. I don't know. Like if he fights, he gets back a lot more than Doku does, in my opinion, defensively. I think he works harder a lot more than Doku going backwards. Even though I personally prefer Doku to Savio, just to be transparent.
Yeah.
But I think that side of the game, he probably does a lot better, in my opinion, Savio. So a lot of people have been saying, Rodrygo does the defensive side of the game the more. And I don't even think that's one of Savio's main issues. I think it's genuinely just his composure when it gets to being in front of goal and putting the ball in the back of the net. I think he's that much away from being able to be a world-class talent. If he gets
so his left is bad, isn't it? Jacob, his left is back, isn't it? Because, have you noticed that it's all at the left where he misses, but with the right-hand side where he cuts in when he's playing the left-hand side? Like, let's be honest, he was a star at the left-hand side, and Pep keeps shoehorning.
Well, you can't have an inverted winger who can't shoot, can you?
I know. That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
pointless. It's the most pointless thing in the world. Do you know what? Right. With Savio, could we, right, we're trying to read so much into this. Martin, you might know, maybe, because obviously you do get a bit of information. Could it be as simple as that actually Savio wants to move because he's on 40 grand a week and he wants more?
I don't think it's about
money. He wants to move. He wants to move because he's basically he's guaranteed more. He's guaranteed more bigger minutes at Spurs than what he will get at
and more money. And more money. World Cup season.
Well, I don't think that'll happen. I think Brazil are one of them old-fashioned teams of they have their wingers, and it doesn't matter what form you're in.
Still pick Anthony.
You know what I mean? I'll tell you where it was that.
You're right, and sorry, with Carlo Ancelotti there, there's no way he's getting.
You hit the nail on. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. Spurs weeks ago were inquiring on Tottenham, as you know, Spurs were the. And then what's happened is because agents, as they should. Good agents heard about, Tottenham are in for Grealish. So Savio's agents have asked a question to Tottenham, what about this guy if he's available? Because agents only make money if there's a contract renewal or there's a movement. You don't make money if a player just sits there for years and doesn't improve or leave. So Savinho's gone back. We spoke with Savinho. Savinho's gone back, asked for a meeting with Pep. And I don't think he liked the answer he got. Coming out the meeting,
and Martin,
which was then right. We'll get going with it then.
And Martin, before I forget, people are forgetting this. You say this on my channel, Martin, that people are forgetting this. They're not looking at it from Savio's side. Son is gone. The number 7 jersey is empty at Spurs. The left-hand side, nobody can compete with Savio if he goes there. he can make a name for himself. You said about this man that let's even look at the player side. Like, what are we offering? We're not going to offer the left for him. We're not offering that left for him. We're not going to give him the number 7 jersey.
There's no way. Bro, how it's, you know what? The thing is, and for me, like, I don't want to sound like a Savio hater, right? but at the same time, last season, I personally, and people will tell me that Savio is better on the eye, nicer on the eye, technically better than Doku, right? But for me,
not as effective, I don't think.
No, bro, and this is the key, right? Patrick earlier with that 100 million Jack Grealish conversation, yeah. It's a really good conversation because now once someone moves on, right, 100 million for Jack Grealish as a winger, really and truly, if you're going to rate him as a winger, you can't put him anywhere near Mahrez. You can't put him anywhere near Sterling, and you can't put him anywhere near Leroy Sané. Why? Because as a winger, your impact, your effectiveness, your numbers, and I don't want to be, a GA merchant, but as a winger, it's pretty fucking important, right? And with Savio, I think Doku had a better season than Savio. When people say to me, this is where I will be a little bit ruthless. When people say, oh, but like someone said to me, Daps, it's not fair for you to compare Mahrez at City with Savio at City. You need to go and look at Mahrez when he was Savio's age, where he was playing, and his numbers. No, but here's the thing. The reason why I don't need to do that is because we did not have Mahrez when he was that Mahrez. Yeah. We have prime Mahrez. Right now, it's all great that we want to hold young players' hands and we want to let them blossom. But right now, I'll be honest with you. Like, we're about to go into a title race with fucking Liverpool, Arsenal, and Chelsea. I want numbers now. I don't want to know what Savio's going to do in 3 seasons' time. We need someone right now.
That's why I was saying about the player. It's not a thing we have. Like I said, totally fine with the ruthlessness. But I don't want to wait in a year's time if Oscar Bobb leaves. Or what about Oscar Bobb? Let's put ourselves in Oscar Bobb's head.
It's Palmer, he's
now got all his traffic sat in front of him. He's got all his traffic.
Who's Savio?
Bob. And
bro, I don't think it. So for me, right? If you go back to last summer,
I think he's untouchable.
No,
Bob.
So bro, last summer, let's go back.
I think he's in trouble.
Hold on, bro. Bob plays on the right.
Right, I know, but that's what. But you got. I'm not sure because
go in front of him.
I think that's one of the reasons Savio's
Rodrygo
wants to. Martin, Rodrygo last summer spoke with Pep, and said he prefers the left, right? If he's on the left, Savio plays on the right, Savio's leaving. What traffic's in front of Bob?
Foden. If he
Cherky.
You got Cherky Foden. By the way, what you doing with Mamouche? Because Mamouche might move over to the
Mamouche
right,
is on the left. This is the thing. Mamouche, Rodrygo, and Doku are left. Bob is very clear right.
Rodrygo is coming here to play. He's not coming here to sit on no bench and rotate with everyone.
Yeah, I agree with you. But bro, Rodrygo,
right, so he wants the left.
He likes the left. He prefers the left.
Right. Okay. So then you got to fit Mamouche. Doku, Foden, all of them are ahead of Bob.
The reason why I'm confused, is that you're saying we're getting rid of our main right winger last season, right?
Yeah.
Right, and Bob plays on the right, so there's less traffic in front of him now.
No, because what I'm trying to say to you is Rodrygo, because ideally, so part of Savio's reason for going is because he wants to be on the left as well. He'll play on the left wing for Tottenham. Yeah. He will play on that left wing. Rodrygo is going to take his gaff on the left wing, You'd have trouble is you've now got, like I said, Omar Mamouche, Ryan Cherky, Phil Foden, and etc. to get in. Bobby's not going to get in ahead of them.
But
that's my worry.
Hold on, I hear you on that.
That's all I'm saying.
But you said he's got all the traffic in front of him. He's got less traffic, right? One of the cars has just pulled off the motorway.
No, because you're looking at it in a simple way we were last season in terms of positions.
Yeah, I am. But also,
but that isn't the way it'll work, though.
If I look at it as pecking order, and also look with my eyes, right? Let's think about last summer. Last summer, before the season started, Oscar Bobb in the pecking order was ahead of Savio, right?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. Yeah.
He was
After pre-season, he was. Yeah.
Yeah, after pre-season, Oscar Bobb was. We were all saying he's going to be our right winger. It was very obvious from his form, right? He's also older than Savio as well. So actually, if you even just wanted to do the age thing, which Pep kind of likes, he's also a slightly more mature player. Now, through pre-season, I was with you, Martin, because I'm seeing Oscar Bobb and maybe thinking we've had the conversations. You've said to me about don't be surprised if Bob would be loaned out. Yeah, but
this is still the same problem.
But I can't lie. I think, and I don't know if this is partly to do with it as well, watching that Palermo game, watching that right-hand side with Bob there, right, watching the way Bob and Cherky linked up, watching the way Bob can actually go on the inside and the outside, yeah?
I think he'll play a lot of minutes, yeah.
For me, it's like, do you know what? If I'm Savio right now, I'm looking at this thinking, hold on, Marmoush, Doku on the left, yeah? Rodrygo potentially coming in. Because from what I've heard, Rodrygo's dad was in Manchester 2 weeks ago, right? So
yeah, what I'm trying to say, Rodrygo, you just said about Doku on the left.
Better place. So I think Bob is in a lot better place than Savio is.
I'm just saying that fine. I completely disagree with that because I think you're looking at it just a numbers thing. I'm looking at it because whether you like it or not,
I don't even know what you're saying, to be honest.
Because people going about, well, Foden does play on the right hand side sometimes. Cherky plays on the right. He played on the right against bloody Palmero more than he did in the 10.
But
he was Martin, on the right hand side.
Hold on. So,
but one of them is always going to play in the middle as well. So that only leaves one really.
But Jacob, Phil Foden and Cherky are going to sit on a bench for Oscar Bobb.
But hold on.
They'll just go. You know that.
But not
Phil Foden's not sitting on a bench.
I think he'll play a lot of minutes though.
Yeah, Martin,
where are you putting
Martin, why are you doing a best 11, please? We are Manchester City. You play 60 games. You need a squad. We know. Hold on. Jesus. We know. No, because you're saying where are you putting Marmoush? Like we're not going to rotate. So
Marmoush on 300 grand a week at 65 million. He's not sitting on anyone's bench.
Right. Sorry, again, you are doing best 11. Then you're doing best 11. If you're saying
what's the reason Savinho wants to go? What's the reason Savinho wants to go?
Best 11s, right, Martin? Do you not? In fact, I've had conversations.
Well, we were doing best 11s,
Martin. I've had conversations with you before, yeah, where we have said that it will be different 11s. Sometimes it will be a Haaland, Cherky, Foden, or a Haaland, Cherky, Marmoush. Sometimes it will be, a Marmoush. I actually think, yeah, this season there will be times where we see Haaland not dropped, but rested. Yeah, sometimes Marmoush rested. We have to remember.
He didn't start every game last year, Marmoush.
This is a World Cup season, right? And a lot of these players.
Usually players are going to the bench. So that's where I disagree with.
No, they're not going to the bench. I think players are going to be rotated and used wisely.
See, that's the thing. That's the thing. We call it rotation. Players don't call it rotation.
Either way.
Let's get this idea out of rotation.
But you know at Manchester City, yeah? Like whatever Twitter calls them, all of that. You know at Manchester City, and again, this is another conversation me and you have had, Martin, yeah? That it's up to you as a player. You can join a club like Arsenal and be guaranteed 70 games a season and maybe end up with no trophies because everyone is burnt the fuck out. Alternatively, you can join Manchester City, know you're playing 35 games a season, but you're ending the season with a treble, right? And that's why people go with it because they know, all right, if I go City, I'm part of a squad. So for
Savio
me,
didn't start every game last year, and he still played over 30 games by the end of the season, didn't he? And I didn't see him as a guaranteed start.
And he's wanted to leave, and he's wanted to go. That's my point, Jacob.
I honestly think Savio.
This is what I'm trying to say. People don't want. It's the type of games they want. It's not the people. It's the type of games.
Bro, again,
that's the problem with the football. They want to play in the biggest game.
Phil Foden's been gone for a Champions League final and still stuck around and put in like world class.
No, I agree.
A lot of people are still happy to be around at the club for what else he brings, and I don't think
that's just my opinion. I honestly believe. I think people. I know people are living this, and it's my opinion. Call it dream world of everyone's happy. Players come by on the bench and sings along, and we all play 70 games and rotate. They do to a certain point, And
You've
then they
definitely
go,
been one that's
enough's enough.
saying that's what you are 100% someone that I've been on shows with that actually waxes lyrical about that is why people come to City and that City know that.
No,
But now
no,
you're
no.
going the
I've never
opposite
said
way.
that, you know.
that before
No
they come
doubt.
to Man City.
I swear I've never ever said that. I've always been this guy of players don't rotate.
So,
Because
Martin,
I'm the one who's I'm the
what
one
are
who's
you saying
complained
then, that
about
it should be
losing
the
the last
same
11
11
players.
that plays every week?
No,
Because
no,
we've
no,
never
no,
been
no,
that team.
no,
We've never been that
no,
team.
no. You rotate. What I'm saying is Bob will play less than all of those.
Yeah,
Is
but
what I genuinely think.
hold on. But
The
then
reason
let's-
McAtee's
oh,
leaving.
but hold on. Let's just look at what you said there is fair. Like Bob will play, but you started off saying you'd be worried.
But does
for
Bob want? Yes, because I don't think Bob.
But Martin, you know that Bob. You know,
this isn't going to work if you don't let me give more than 3 seconds.
No, but you're
to
not
speak.
being consistent with things that you've said.
Because you won't let me finish any. No, because you're making. I haven't said what you're saying. I've said
things you've said to me. You have also said.
I haven't said that.
I haven't even said anything yet for you to know what I've said you've said. Let me say it, right? You have said to me that Oscar Bobb wants to stay and fight for his place, right? But so come on. Like that,
right.
You told me Bob wants to stay and fight for his place.
Yes, and all I said was I don't think he'll make it long term. That's what I said.
But what's that basis off though? That you don't think he's good enough, Martin? Or
no, I think he's good enough. I think there's too many players in front of him that are better.
But if he's good enough, then he's gonna be able to get in the team, isn't he, and play a lot of minutes. And I mean, I don't think he's really in a position where he can be looking elsewhere at the moment. I mean, he was supposed to have his first proper year with us last season. He was supposed to have his first proper year with us last season and ended up being injured for most of the season. So this is his first time really to play consistent men's football and show actually what he is.
So would you play him ahead of Omar Moose, Ryan
I'm not
Church,
saying
and
that
Phil
at
Foden?
all. I'm not saying that at all. But I think
That's all I'm asking.
Hold on, Martin.
He's going to play a lot of minutes next year, similar to probably what minutes Savio played this season, in my opinion. I think he will start a lot of games. More so against maybe the smaller clubs in the league, no offense to them, and the cup games as well. But we'll see a lot more of him, and he'll build his way into that team a lot more until maybe he is a starter in 1-2 years' time. But for us to completely write him off already and say that we're worried about whether he'll still be around, I just can't understand that.
Martin, can I ask you a question? Because every time, right, you say what you just did there. You said, so do you think Oscar Bobb will start over? And then you went Marmoush, Doku, Cherky, Foden, right? They're the players. Okay. So
and Doku.
No, I just said Doku. So there's 4. Marmoush, Cherky, Foden, Doku, right? So firstly, from what I saw the other day, right, against Palermo, he played with Cherky because Cherky was kind of playing in like a right midfield role, yeah? And Bob was playing more on the wing. So that straight away, there is a way where you can play Cherky and Oscar Bobb, right? Marmoush, we've seen on the right, it really doesn't look that good. Yeah, people are saying Rodrygo. You're right, Rodrygo. But the whole thing is, I think that Pep wants a squad of players that can rotate about. So I think there's going to be, sometimes we're going to play, if you're wanting to play with wingers, yeah, you're going to be probably playing, if Savio goes, with Oscar Bobb and Rodrygo, right? Because Marmoush isn't really a winger. Right?
I don't like Marmoush on the right. No,
nah. I don't like Marmoush on the right. But then
so where would you play them, Jacob? Where would you play Marmoush?
It depends on the team you're playing.
Off the left or in the middle.
But it depends on the game.
Yeah.
And there's going to be rotation. Like Marmoush has been, Marmoush has been at the club for 5 months, right? We've seen him play off the left and we've seen him play through the middle. Right, this whole thing that Haaland and Martin, I've said so many times that however much I really like the idea of Haaland, Cherky, and Marmoush, it is a fair point that at the back end of last season, Marmoush, Doku, and Savio was more fluid. So there's so many different ways that we can play it. Now, I agree with you. I'm not saying Oscar Bobb is going to be a 38-game-a-season player. But in his first season back after injuries, yeah, because think about it. If you're Oscar Bobb right now and you've had a season out injured, yeah, and you have a World Cup in 9 months' time, do you want to be overused?
No. I'm not disputing that. My dispute was,
I think right now he'd be happy to just get his fitness back and get back playing regular football.
What's the reason Rodrygo's leaving Madrid?
Yeah, but that's
Oh,
Rodrygo.
what's
But that's
no,
Rodrygo,
hang
that's
on,
not
Pat,
support.
no.
Go on, you tell me. I don't know. What's
I'm
the
just
reason?
going to show up because I speak and everyone just jumps within
No, go
30
on.
seconds of me saying out.
Go on,
ahead.
Martin.
You did ask a question.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
You did ask a question.
Daps,
he
you
did,
got
he
what
did.
you. Daps, you are totally on one this week. God knows what's going on with you, lad. At the minute, you're on one this
It's
week.
this transfer news, man. It's making everyone
He
cry.
was doing this last week, jumping down my throat every 30 seconds. My
Pause.
God.
Bro, you put ketchup on a bolty pie. This happens. Like I just
My
feel
God.
no.
No,
So you said,
Rodrygo is
why
leaving
did
Madrid
yeah,
because he wants to play.
Yeah.
Like that Maria said, and we all watched it. This is a guy who kicked off because he got subbed at half time in the final. And then went, I'm not doing this. I want to be one of the most important guys, blah, blah, blah. He ain't rotating.
Okay.
You need to accept and come to that.
Then
So
we
that's
might not
left
get
hand
him.
side.
Well, I think he's gonna have to because I don't think he's all that big time as.
Well, then
anyway.
Jacob, don't buy him because what I always do is look at the reason he's that. No, it's fine. Look at the reason. I always say, look at the one step before. He's leaving Madrid for the exact reason you're all saying that's what Pep should do.
And
that's
again,
the reason he's out of Madrid.
This is the dregs of another big club that City are trying to pick up on.
Then yeah,
and I cannot understand why people at 80% of LB stream voted on this the other day that Rodrygo is world class right now. I cannot get my head around that whatsoever because I don't believe this guy is world class. He scored 6 goals in La Liga last season in like a 35-game season. Alex Iwobi scored more Premier League goals. Thomas Souček scored more Premier League goals. And we think that he's going to come in and be this big G&A merchant that we've been missing for the last few years and we're going to spend 80 million on. I don't think he's necessarily the answer. So I've had a problem the last week or so with City fans are like bending over and twerking for these players that aren't even at the club yet. And they're already throwing the likes of Doku in the bin, Marmoush in the bin, like they're nowhere near the starting 11s and stuff like that. And these are the guys that are still at the club.
I know, Martin, it's unbelievable. You're tapping out on Bob. It's unbelievable, Martin.
No. What I'm saying, because this is my point to say to people. If you want to go down the Galactico Superstar FIFA Let's Go Now road, fine. But there will be casualties along the way then. There's got no Jacob, I don't, but because of what I'm saying, there will be casualties down the road due to this. Because when you bring in Galactico, Superstars, whatever, they will demand to play. They don't want to rotate. Julian Alvarez didn't want to rotate.
If you want to come to Man City and win multiple trophies, and you really want to be at this club, then if you want to start every game, then you've got to fucking earn it. And I'm not supporting that guy until I see him in a Man City shirt. I'm not having this. Everyone now already putting them in these starting 11s and casting these guys aside like Savio and Doku, saying sell them as well. Until he's in a
that's all I'm saying. Yeah, it is cold. It is cold. It is cold. Yeah. I think that's why I think people are struggling. Some are struggling to get their head around it because it's very A to Z now. This is whoa. We were buying project players. Well, we're not anymore. Donnarumma and Rodrygo are not projects.
I hear, yeah, we'll see on them. I'm still not convinced on Donnarumma coming. I honestly think this agent might be up to some, and I think Fabrizio maybe a little bit, but we'll see. It does seem to be picking up a lot of legs from what you're seeing. But just quickly, there's 2 things I wanted to speak on. But just lastly on Bob, I can't lie. After watching Bob the other day, I know the sample size is really small, but from what we've seen of Bob, I actually think Bob is one that I think Pep really, 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 really trusts Bob, you know. I think we'll be surprised at how much game time Bob gets. And I do think him being if he was on the left-hand side, I'd feel for him a bit more. I think on the right-hand side, I actually think it suits Bob as well. Like, if there is that many players and that many options, I think it suits Bob because we can't overuse Bob. It's the same. If you really think about it, Bob has been out for as long as Rodri, yeah? All we're doing is we're constantly talking about how we can't rush Rodri back, right? We're all saying that. We're all saying we don't know how long. I think on the right-hand side next to Jay, there's that thing. So it says, not for another 2 months will Rodri be back to his best. Now, with Oscar Bobb, this was his first ever injury, right? It's even more so. So I actually think for him to sit on the bench and have a season even if it is an impact player like he was first season, but I do think he'll get starts.
You know when I think we'll see him?
I think we'll see a lot of him.
I think we'll see him when Nunes isn't playing right back. I think if it's either Cousinov there,
With
Stones
Rico.
there, or Akanji there, or Rico,
Yeah.
I think Bob will be a guaranteed start on that right-hand side because he's the only one that can stay and hold the line out wide.
Yeah.
He
And so
can
on the
come
right,
both days, but if obviously Nunes is playing right back and you've got the overlapping fullback, I think that's when we'll see the likes of Foden and Cherky drifting into those central areas. But if we're going with a different right back for a game or in a big game, I think Bob's the perfect man to be up there to hold the line, to hold that front three high and wide and be able to go both ways. So I can see him playing a lot of minutes because I can't see Nunes starting every single game either.
Yeah, do you know what it is to me, Jacob? And don't get me wrong, I love Bob. I actually do like Bob. And that's you not, because we have WhatsApped you about that. I do like Bob. This is my fear on it. But I think maybe with me, I've got so much PTSD over the last 6 years of the list of players that have all left. Because we're talking players who were getting over 3,000 minutes and they still wanted to leave because they weren't playing in the correct games for them.
Yeah. Just
I'm talking Alvarez, Sterling.
One of my favourites, Laporte.
Go through him.
Laporte,
Emerick Laporte. Go through him.
He's
Laporte
my fucking favourite.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Players, I know as fans, we're all going, yeah, rotate and have a good. Players and agents don't see it as rotation. I wish they did.
I hear that.
I think for a lot of them, though, Pepper actually didn't rotate them. He pretty much froze them out.
All of this is like what we do. I hear what you're saying, Martin. Yeah, but we're acting like City are not a rotating team. Like what you said, all of that, I hear it from the player's point of view. But Manchester City are a rotating team. We always have been. There is a reason why it's called Pep Roulette, right? Because that's what Pep does. So to think that all of a sudden that's going to change, we are going to see rotation, even more so based on last season. So because if we don't, we're going to have another season like last season. Just quickly, I just want to bring this up. Have you seen these points that are on the right there from that that Spanish journalist that I think he's good pals with Pep or something? One of them stood out to me. So he did an interview on the 5 Live yesterday with Sam Lee, and it's just a load of facts about like kind of the way things that Pep said, and one of them was mad to me, right? Pep is impressed with left back Aït-Nouri. Where was it? But he also thinks he can come inside and a great number 10. Aït-Nouri's a number 10. That baffled the shit out of me. I mean, look, he's good with his feet, but what are we doing? We've signed a left back.
That doesn't surprise me.
No, it doesn't surprise me.
Because he's done it with Zinchenko and Delph, hasn't he? So he loves turning these midfielders into left back.
Yeah, and now he's deciding we're going to go and get a left back and turn him into a 10.
Midfielder,
I wouldn't be surprised if Pep Guardiola, isn't it? He's done with Mascherano. He did with Yaya, where he dropped Yaya. Can we? You know what? I think we are all losing it right now. But I think, isn't it quite funny? This is what I'm to say. Remember when I asked at the beginning, Jacob, that what is Pep looking at? I just feel like looking at Rodrygo. When does Rodrygo come alive? Champions League and Cup games. That's when he comes alive for Madrid. Yeah. When does Donnarumma come around? Donnarumma does go in Cup games and Champions League. I was like, maybe Pep just really wants to sweep these cups and leave and say, thank you very much, City fans. You can stay with these keepers. Let's just wait and see. Because this Donnarumma thing, I am suspecting agent talk. I don't know, something is just telling me we'll get screwed over in the end and you'll find out he's at Chelsea because Chelsea need a keeper or United or somewhere. But let's just wait. Even the Rodrygo thing, Rodrygo is out here.
I'm happy to wait.
Rodrygo saying all of Madrid.
Glazing them already before they're even at the club. This is what I can't get my head around. When I see him in a City shirt, then that's fine. But Rodrygo
is. I'm telling you, Jacob, Rodrygo is glazed by every fan base. He is the guy everybody wants because he comes in clutch in the Champions League. People just want.
Do you know who's glazing Rodrygo? It's bloody Pep who's been glazing Rodrygo for far too long. And he's like, I want me man.
Pep's been wrong before though as well.
Do you know they glaze each other though, Martin? They glaze each other because even Rodrygo, every time before we play Madrid, Rodrygo talks about Pep saying, "This is my dream manager to play for." He says that.
Yeah, so, they've got some. They must like the same red wine or something, right? And Pep's
He's got
probably
stocks in his restaurant.
Oh, I don't know what it is. And probably that night in the Bernabeu just hurt Pep so much that he was like, yeah, that's probably everything that Jack Grealish isn't, maybe. I don't know. But anyway, listen, we're going to wrap it up here because I know there's football on. We're 20 minutes in, but appreciate you all coming. Jay's debut. I have, in fact, if I still got it here, I think I have people. Jay has just started a channel.
Yes.
I've put it in the chat now. Please, please, please go over there, subscribe, watch his video with LB. And I see you posted another one this morning, right? On Donnarumma.
Last night, a bit of a late rant last night about the whole Donnarumma news, but it was only a short one. But yeah,
Hold on.
only started
Last night. Where are you?
I was in my garden getting some fresh air after all the stress of it all. So
I was going to say, you look like you're on holiday.
I've not purchased a desk and that yet. That'll come after a few more followers.
What, a desk like LB that goes up and down, yeah?
Yeah.
We shouldn't have signed big players. It stresses Jacob out. He can't handle it. He's like, no, give me my project players. What are we doing?
Nah, I am low-key happy. And it's just that I don't believe it. You know, I hope this is not, because Sanchez was the last one that broke my heart. Both of them just smells of Sanchez. So I don't know, but you know what? I'm excited. And if the club pull this off, my excitement is like, what are we cooking? Like, what are we after?
Which one excites you more of the two?
Do you want to hear the one that excites me, Donnarumma? Because
Neither, to be honest.
Oh.
Like you know why Donnarumma excites me? It's because it's the most random one. I was like, what's going on with this one? So we've signed a lot of random players. Do you know what's happened? I want him to be signed, but I want there to be an interview, 20-minute interview, and I'll sit there like this, and I wish I could ask. I'll be like, why? I want to just ask Donnarumma, what did they tell you for you to come here, and what exactly are you discussing behind? Because I would like to hear why is he here? What is he doing? And then I want to see. The first game against Wolves, obviously, is going to be Trafford. Then if Donnarumma comes here, I'm so interested to see that what's going to go on here. Pep, how are you going to convince Trafford that you trust him? Why do you give him the number one? Like, what's going on? I'm just interested to see what's going on. And also, Martin is right. Rodrygo coming in. Does Mamouche sit there and say, I'll back myself? Mamouche looks like a player who can back himself. Maybe Rodrygo will come here and Pep will be like, you know what? You'll be my number one choice at right. Because at Madrid, you're behind Brahim Diaz. You're behind a few players. Be number one. So I'm so interested to see what goes on. But something is telling me we're being played around and maybe we might just get our hearts broken. So let's not get too excited.
I'm just going with I'm honestly seeing Marmouche, yeah, that like we never really I'm seeing Marmouche as like a second striker me. I'm not seeing him out and out as a winger. I think if we're playing with wingers, then I think it won't be Marmouche that starts. If we're playing, I think at times we might see Haaland and Marmouche together playing a bit more through the middle. But anyway, listen, people, let's go and watch this Tottenham. Everyone, please make sure you go and subscribe to J Talks Football. I'll put the link in. Make sure you go and subscribe to Mancunian Way. And, of course, make sure you go and subscribe to True Man City, Patrick's channel. We will be back tomorrow morning with my good friend from below, Martin, again.
So, what time are you streaming tomorrow?
10:30.
Are you getting Alan on? Is Alan on tomorrow?
I don't know if he will be. I think Alan's traveling tomorrow.
I might join you at 10:30 because I have.
You
more
want Alan on? Oh,
I don't know if
you won't hear Alan.
I don't know if I can hack an Alan one with everyone.
He's angry. He's an angry man at the moment. He's very angry.
Right. I'll drop him a message. But big up, Alan. Love to everyone. Let's hope. Who's everyone wanting to win tonight? By the way,
Spurs.
Spurs.
Nah, probably not. PSG, Fox.
PSG.
I completely forgot it was on.
I
forgot it was on.
Let them win. Let them get hyped, and they'll come with a higher beat because now they're testing victory.
I think it'll give them confidence going into the season, though, and I can't be asked us going into Spurs games.
Well, I'll be honest, right? So if you really deep it right now, Chelsea have recently done a double. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tottenham Crystal Palace have recently done a double, right?
We can't let Spurs as well.
Bro, if Spurs do a double, we've had 3 teams do a double in a season that we've won nothing.
On our head tops, yeah.
Nah, that can't happen. No way. Anyway, listen.
Wait, before you leave, there's something I want to say about Spurs. Guys, let's not forget the 2 players that tortured us are gone. Son is gone. What's his name? Kane is gone. Spurs is just Spurs now. Trust me. They're gone.
What What do you mean?
I
Yeah,
still
but
don't like them.
look,
I
the
still
two guys
don't
who tortured us are gone. They're gone. The two players that used to torture us are gone.
What?
The club.
What? What do you mean?
It's everything
anyway.
about them I don't like.
Yeah.
Same. Right, listen, people, we're out. We'll be back tomorrow at 10:30. Love.
Burger.